Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to another Bolt Action version 3 battle report. Today we'll be going to the Eastern Front, where the Germans and Russians will face off. Today's game will be Envelopment, where we will roll off to see who the attacker and defender is, and the defender will deploy up to I believe half their units, or maybe all their units, with some in reserve, while the attacker will be coming on in 2 waves, and their goal is to get as many units into the enemy's deployment zone or off the board as possible. So, as you can see on the board, we have this little village strip of road here with some houses. They will be hard cover. And then we have 2 portions of little woods right here in this corner and over here. That'll be soft cover. And then we got a hill over here on the left. Fields with some walls. The fields will provide soft cover, while being up against the walls will be hard cover. And then we'll do this little bocage strip over here up on the hill for hard cover. Not these ones in the woods. That'll just be soft cover. So, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the list. And here we have 1,000 points of Soviet Union. We have a rifle platoon and an armored platoon. For the rifle platoon, we have our officer with 2 men, SMGs in all 3 of them. Then we have 2 10-man rifle squads with SMG sergeant and a light machine gun in each. And then a 3rd rifle squad, 10-man, all with SMGs and a light machine gun. And then lastly, for the rifle platoon, we have 2 anti-tank teams, anti-tank rifle teams. Everything is regular. And then for the armored platoon, we have our commander, which will be the T-34, and a KV-2. They both have the medium machine guns for the turret and the coaxial. So, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at Germans. And here we have 1,000 points of Germans. We have 2 platoons, a rifle platoon and an armored platoon. For the rifle platoon, we have our officer with 2 men, all 3 SMGs. 2 10-man here infantry squads with light machine gun and SMG sergeant in each. And then lastly, we have a 10-man Fallschirmjäger squad. These are veterans. We have an SMG sergeant, light machine gun, and 2 Panzerfaust. And then last for the platoon, we have an anti-tank rifle platoon, or rifle team, and a sniper team. Moving on to the armored platoon, we have the Panzer IV with the light howitzer. That'll be our commander. And then we have the heavy armored car is the 234, I want to say. Let me double check. Also, the half track is part of the rifle platoon as well for the transport. So yes, that is a 234-1 heavy armored car with the light autocannon and turret-mounted medium machine gun. And then we have the SD-222 with light autocannon and medium machine gun as well. Coaxial, I believe. Yes. So, that is the Germans. So now let's go ahead and decide who is attacking and defending and begin the battle. Alright, we have now deployed. Soviet Union is on this side. They are the defenders. So I have an anti-tank on the right side with the KV-2, 2 infantry squads, and my officer in the field behind the walls, and another anti-tank up on the hill. And then my SMG squad and my T-34 are in reserves. And then the bombardment went off. I got 2 on the anti-tank team, 2 on the KV-2, 1 on this infantry squad, 1 on the officer, 2 on this rifle squad, and another 1 on that anti-tank team. And then the Germans, they put their Panzer IV in reserves, the half-track with the Fallschirmjägers, and an anti-tank team in reserve as well. So with that, let's go ahead and pull out the first die. Round 1. And the first die is Soviets. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put this anti-tank team on ambush, if I can pass my test. That's a 9. Nope. They will go down. Next die. Next die is Germans, and we'll figure out where she, or what she brings out first. Alright, she has decided to run her infantry squad forward into the tree line, and then we move on to the next die. And the next die is Soviets. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll just go ahead and activate this anti-tank team. We're going to shoot at that squad. Another 9. They go down as well. Not having any luck. Alright, next die. Next die is Soviets. We're going to activate my officer. And so he's going to rally, and then we will try and put both of these on ambush. So we'll start with the officer. He passes, so he gets rid of his dice. And then this squad here, that'll be a 7, 8, 9, plus 2, that will pass. They will go on ambush. And then this one, 6, 7, 8, also pass. Both going on ambush. Next die. Next die is Soviets as well. And it's just my KV-2, unfortunately. We're just gonna rally. Rally the tank. Get rid of them pin markers, which we do. Alright, next die.
I believe it's just me then, right?
Yep. And we'll see what she brings on. Alright, for the Germans, she ran her infantry squad forward behind the building. And then next up, her armored car moved forward and advanced and is now going to fire into my anti-tank team up on the hill. So using her medium machine gun. This will be 5s. Just 1 hit. And then 4 to take a man out. Oh, just a pin. Alright. Moving on. Alright, and then continuing on with the first round, she brought in her officer to support that infantry squad. And then she brought her sniper team into this building. And lastly, her heavy armored car moved forward onto the board and is going to fire the medium machine gun at my hidden anti-tank team. So 4 shots hitting on 4s. That is 3 hits. And this will be 4 to take a man out. For 2. And then that'll give me, let's see. So there's soft cover for 5 up save. They went down for a 4 up save and they're hidden. So I believe it's just a 3 up save. If they don't stack like that, let me know in the comments. So that'll work, that'll save, and they just get a pin for 3 up pins. And then with that, we move on to round 2. Alright, and the first die of round 2 is Soviets. Alright. Let's see. I unintentionally took the dies off of them from ambush.
Do you want to put them back on?
Nah, it's already done. In that case, we'll just go ahead and put this squad back on ambush. Next die. Next die is Germans. And we'll let her decide on her next move. Alright, she decided to activate her armored car, which moved up, advancing forward, and is going to fire point blank into my anti-tank team. So this will be so 5s for moving, 2 for point blank, so a total of 3, using the medium machine gun. And that's 3 hits. And then this will be 4s to take them out.
For
1. Alright. So that brings it into 3 pins. Taking out 1, and then a morale test. Didn't give him cover because, you know, she's right behind it. I figure if they were on this side, they'd get cover. So, morale test, and that's a failure. Alright, that's the first point to the Germans. Go ahead and take a die out for them. Alright, and then we move on. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. And we'll let her think about this one. Alright, for the Germans, she advanced she ran her infantry team up towards the hill, and then she got the next 2 dice as well. So she just brought up her officer up behind that squad, and then now our armored car over here is going to try and take out that infantry, the anti-tank team again. So 4 shots hitting on 4s. For 4 hits. Alright, and then this will be 4s to take them out. For 3. Alright. And then I get just a regular 5 up cover save this time. No, nothing. And just like that, both anti-tank teams are gone. Go ahead and pull out another die for them. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Soviets. And we are going to fire this squad into that team up on the hill. Alrighty, so 10-man squad. We got 7 rifles and a light machine gun that's in range, all firing into that squad up on the hill. They do have light cover because that tree is technically right on top of them. So this will just be 4s to hit. Not bad. For 5 hits, and then 4s take them out for just 2, and then that'll be 2 5-up cover saves. She gets them both, so they just take a pin, and then we'll go to the next die. Alright, next die was Germans. She went ahead and activated her sniper team over here, which is going to fire from that window into this infantry squad right here. So, one shot, hitting on a 3. And that is a 2. That will miss. And we will move on to the next die. Next die is Germans, which she will now activate this infantry team. Alrighty, so she decided to move her infantry team up behind this building here, and then she's going to fire into this squad. But I went ahead and set off my ambush first. So I have 5 rifles and a light machine gun that are within range and line of sight. So this will be 4 is a hit. 4, 6, and then 4 to take a man out. And that will take out 3. She won't get any cover saves because she was back here as she was moving. That is when I set off my ambush. So that'll be 3 casualties and a pin, and then we'll move on to the next die. Just kidding, she's going to continue her activation and fire into my squad. So 5 light machine gun shots and 2 rifle shots are in range and line of sight, hitting on 5s. And that is 3 hits, and then 4 to take a man out. 4, 2. And then I get 2 for cover saves. For hard cover. No. Alright, 2 casualties and a pin. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Germans as well. Alright, so next up, Germans had the next 2 dice. She tried to bring in her reserves. Each of those rolls failed. So then it was just up to the Soviets. So I activated my KV-2, which moved forward at advance and is going to fire the heavy howitzer into that infantry squad right there. So this will be a 5+ to hit, and a 6 will do it. It's 3-inch template, so it's probably just going to hit those 2 right there. So this will be 2s to take them out, which it does, and put D3 pins for 1 pins, and then now at 2 pins, and then we will continue on with my reserves. We'll go ahead and try and bring out my T-34. A 6 will do it, and they will advance on the board. Alrighty, and this is where I brought in my T-34, advancing on the board, and is going to fire into that armored car. So this will be a 5 to hit, and that will do it. That'll be a +6 penetration with a side shot on an armored 7 vehicle. That is 6, 7, 8. So that is enough to penetrate.
Is it minimal?
Nope, this is full damage. And a 1, you lucky. Crew stunned. So just take an extra pen marker and they'll go down.
Okay.
Alright, and then we will move on to my last unit, my SMG squad. Actually, you know what? We're going to leave the SMG squad in reserve. So with that, we go to turn 3. Alrighty, turn 3, first die. First die is Germans. And she will think about her move. Alright, after much strategizing, she's decided to try and bring out her Panzer IV. So let's go ahead and see that roll. And a 10 will not do it. The Panzer does not come onto the board. That's unfortunate. Next die. Next die is Soviets. Perfect. We'll go ahead and activate the T-34, which is going to stay still and just fire at that vehicle there. Do you want to do your recce? Okay, she's gonna do her advanced reaction. Alright, so the armored car has gone into reverse down the hill to get without a line of sight. And at the end of her move, I can still see some of the vehicle, so we'll get a cover save for this shot. So this will be a 3 to hit. Oh, and I miss. Alright. And you know what? We'll fire my medium machine gun at it as well. See if I can put a pin on it. This will be 4 to hit. That'll do it. And it'll take another pin. And then we'll move on to the next die. Alright, next up, Soviets got the next die, so I'm going to activate this infantry squad. They are going to continue firing into this squad up on the hill. So 7 rifle shots and 4 light machine gun shots hitting on 4s. And then 4s to take them out, just 3 hits. And that's 4 taken out with, or 3 taken out. And that'll be 3 5-up cover saves. Just off cover. She makes 1, so she'll take 2 casualties and another pin. And we will move on to the next die. Alright, next die was Germans. She's decided to return fire with this infantry squad, so order test. That is a 9, 10, 11, plus 2 with the officer brings you back down to 9. So that is a pass. Just barely. Alright, and then so that'll bring you down to 1 pin. And then this will be 10 shots hitting on 5s. We got 4 hits. And then 4s to take them out. 4 just 1. And that'll be a 4-up cover save. Got it. So just a pin. And then next die. Next die is Germans as well. Alright, for the Germans, she was able to bring in her half-track, which she advanced on the board over here. And then the next die was Germans as well. She went ahead and advanced her anti-tank rifle team, which is now going to fire into the T-34. Easy Army said it doesn't have stationary, so I'm assuming they don't have stationary anymore. Unless I have an old errata, they can move and shoot. If I'm wrong, let me know. So regardless, she's going to fire at the T-34. This will be a 5 to hit. Oh, and that does hit. She won't be able to penetrate it, so she just puts a pin on the T-34. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Germans. And that just leaves your Fallschirmjäger team, or your armored car over there, and the sniper.
And my officer.
And your officer.
I'm gonna do the sniper.
Alright, continue to shoot at this infantry team.
Yes.
Alright, that'll be 3 to hit. And that hits, and this will be a 3 to take a man out. And that will do it. Who do you want to take out?
Your captain?
My sergeant?
Yes.
Alright. So sergeant will get taken out, and that'll put him to 2 pins. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. Who's next?
These guys. We're gonna try to run them.
Running the infantry team, or squad. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They will go down. Next die. Next die is Soviets. Alright. We will go ahead and activate the KV-2. It will advance and shoot. Alright, so KV-2 moved forward 9 inches around the building and was going to take a shot at the armored car, but the armored car went ahead and used its recce action to get without of line of sight. So that just leaves my turret to fire into this infantry squad here. So this will be 3 shots hitting on 5s for 2 hits, and 4 to take them out. Nothing, just a pin. Bringing them to 3 pins, and then we will move on to the next die. Next die is Soviets as well. So with that, we'll go ahead and we will activate my officer. He's going to go down, and we're going to go ahead and activate this infantry squad to fire at that one behind the building. So, order test. That's a FUBAR. Alright, I don't think a FUBAR supersedes the +2 from these guys. I feel like I've asked this question before. Let me go ahead and double check. Alright, a quick Google search says it does not affect a FUBAR roll. So we're going to go ahead and roll on the FUBAR roll table. Another 1, so that will be friendly fire. So I will figure out that and we will continue on. Alright, so there was no enemy units within 12 inches for them to do a friendly fire, so they panic instead and run towards the board edge to right there. So with that, we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Soviets as well. Who do I have left? It is my reserves. So we're going to attempt to bring them in. No, they do not come in. Alright. And then it's just the Germans' remaining units to activate. Alright, so she had 2 remaining dice. She decided to put her officer down, and the Fallschirmjägers are going to remain in the half track. So that ends round 3, and we will now go to round 4. Alright, and at the start of round 4, the first die was Soviets. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the T-34. We're going to advance and do some shooting. So order test. That'll be a 4. That'll pass. So he will lose his pen and move forward. Alright, T-34 moves forward and is going to fire the anti-tank gun into the half track back there. From the angle, I would say she will get a cover save from the armored car. So this will just be a 5 to hit, and a 6 will do it, and this will be a +5 penetration. So 5, 6, 7, that is superficial damage. Go ahead and roll a cover save.
What do I need? I got a 4.
5. Alright, so that'll fail, and then you got superficial damage, which is a 6. What does that get me? On fire. Alright, so extra pin marker, and then you'll do an order test. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That will fail.
Will my officers give any thoughts?
6-inch range, I believe. Okay, so it looks like the half track will be on fire. We'll go ahead and see what happens there with the troops inside. Okay, after double checking some rules, the armored car would give hard cover save, which is a 4+, so she did make that cover save after all. So with that, it doesn't catch on fire. So we'll move on to my medium machine gun targeting the anti-tank team. So 3 shots hitting on 5s. For nothing. Alright, next die. Next die is Soviets as well. And we will activate this rifle team. Fire into this rifle squad up here. So, order test. Another FUBAR? You gotta be kidding me.
Yes.
Alright. That's a 5, so they will panic as well. For some reason, my whole line is routing. They must have seen the T-34 on their flank and thought it was a Panzer. Alright, moving on. Alright, next die was Germans, and she decided to take advantage of my second FUBAR and run her rifle team down the hill towards the field to get some cover. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. What are we thinking?
I'm gonna... Should I rally them? I want to run them, though.
Well, which one we doing?
I'm gonna try to run them.
Alright, she's going to attempt to run this rifle squad. That is a 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll pass. They'll go down to 2 pin markers and run. Alright, and that's where they ended up, behind the church. Next die. Next die is Soviets. Alright. We're going to go ahead and activate my officer. He's going to advance and maybe give an order if he can. Alright, officer pulls back into the field to get within range of these guys, so he's going to give them an order to advance as well. But before that, they are still in range with their SMGs to fire in at this squad here. So this will be 6 shots hitting on 4s. For just 2 hits. 4s take them out. 4, 2 in a pin.
No cover safe.
I would say no, not from this angle.
Okay.
So 2 more and a pin, and then an order test for this infantry squad here. That'll be a 6. That'll do it. They will pass, going down to 1 pin, and they will advance and fire. Alright, infantry team or squad moves back into the field, having flashbacks of a commissar from the officer yelling, and they are now going to pour fire into these guys. They would just be hitting on 6s though for 1 pin marker and moving. And that's 3 hits, not bad. And this will be 4s to take them out. And that will be the squad. So they will go down, and that'll be 1 point to the Soviets. And we move on to the next die, which is Germans. Alrighty, next die was Germans. She successfully brought in her Panzer, or her Panzer IV, which rolled onto the board and is now going to fire into the KV-2. She has a side shot, but unfortunately she doesn't have enough penetration to do any damage, but she can put some pins on it. So that's what she's going to do. So this will be a 5-up. No, that will miss. And then we will move on to the next die. Next die is Germans as well. Is that the half track or the Fallschirmjägers?
Half track.
Okay. Advancing.
I think I want to run them.
Running. Okay. Order test. 6, 7, 8, 9. That is enough to pass. So that half track will now run. Alright, so instead of running, she decided to advance her half track instead. So that is where they ended up. Next die. Next die is Soviets. And we will go ahead and try and bring in my reserves. That is an 8. That is just enough to bring it in, and they will advance onto the board. Alright, and that's where the SMG squad ended up. So then they're now going to fire into this squad here. So half of them are, or 4 of their SMGs are not in range. So this, for the rest of them, this will be 4s to hit, and then the black dice will be the light machine gun hitting on 5s. That's 2. For a total of 5 hits. And then 4 is the hit. So take a man out for just 1. And that'll be a 4-up cover save, which you make. So there's just 1 pin on that squad. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Germans.
I'm gonna have my one team hop out of the track.
Fallschirmjägers.
Yes.
Alright, the Fallschirmjägers will be advancing or running. Which one?
They're gonna advance.
Advancing out of the half track. Alright, so Fallschirmjägers pop out of the half track and move up over here along the ridge line. And then this Panzerfaust is within a side shot of the vehicle, so she's going to go ahead and take a shot with that. This will be a 5 to hit with the Panzerfaust. And that will hit for a +7 penetration. 6 inches, yep. And that'll be 11. That'll be full damage. Go ahead and roll again.
Okay. 4.
And a 4 is knocked out. That T-34 gets knocked out by that Panzerfaust shot. The Germans are rolling hot. All right, and then the rest of her shots will pour into my SMG team. This will be hitting on 5s as well. Looks like just 1.
2, I think. Oh no.
Nope, just 1. 4 to take a man out. That was a 2. So just a pin on that squad. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Soviets. And I think I just have my KV-2. So we will advance and try and do some shooting with that. Alright, the KV moved forward to get an angle on that armored car, at which point she then activated the armored car to evade with the recce, moving back out of line of sight. So no hits from there, but I do have a medium machine gun that can shoot at the sniper team. So this will be 5 to hit for 1. 4 to take a man out. Nope, just a pin on that sniper team. And then we'll move on to the next die. Next die is Germans. What are we thinking?
I'm gonna rally the
Armored car?
vehicle. Yeah.
Yep. Order test. Nope, that'll fail. Well, it's 11. Yeah, that'll fail. The 3 pins. So they'll go down instead. Next die. Germans again. Your officer, what's he doing?
They're gonna run.
Running the officer. Alright. Alright. Our officer ran up over here. And then next up, her sniper is going to activate. She's going to attempt to run it. That'll be a 6, 7. That'll pass. So they'll lose their pin marker and they'll run. And then I think it's just your anti-tank rifle.
Yes.
What do you want to do with it?
I wanna run them.
Okay, they will run as well. Alright, that's where the sniper team ended up, making their way towards my deployment zone, and the anti-tank rifle over here up on the hill. And that will end turn 4 on to round 5. Alright, start of round 5. The first dice is Soviets. Perfect. Alright. We are going to advance the SMG squad. So, order test. That is a 9 plus 1 pin brings it to 10. They will go down. That is not what I needed. Alright, my bad luck continues. Next die. Soviets again. Alright, we will try this again. Alright, this is what we'll do. We will advance my officer, and I should be able to get within range of those two squads to do an order. Let's see. Alright, and that's where the officer ended up, and I am indeed in range of these two units, so we're going to activate them both, starting with this squad here. We're going to just advance them. So 5, that'll do it. And then they will move and shoot at that squad there. Alright, and that's where the infantry team, or infantry squad ends up. And then they're going to fire into the here squad. So this will be a bunch of rifle shots and light machine gun shots. Hitting on 5s. The SMG shots will be black dice hitting on 4s. Not bad. And then 4s to take a man out. 4, 3. And that'll be 3 4-up cover saves for hard cover. Which she makes one of them, so she'll take 2 casualties and a pin. And then we'll go ahead and activate the next squad. Alright, so I did this off camera because I figured there's no way I will fail a morale test with my officer nearby. But I rolled another foobar. So there's no enemy units to do friendly fire anyways, so I would automatically go to panic, and they will panic off the board, destroying that unit. They were just within 12 inches to advance off or run off the board. So my infantry unit rallies just to rout again, and they are now destroyed. Next die. Next die is Germans. Alright, next few dice were the Germans. So we'll just go ahead and run through what she did. She went ahead and ran these 2 vehicles forward, making way towards my deployment zone. And then her anti-tank rifle team ran forward as well, along with a half-track to head towards my deployment zone. My lines are now buckling completely. And then her last die that she just activated were the Fallschirmjägers, which advanced forward and are going to fire into this squad.
Yes.
Alright, firing into the SMGs. So this will be 5s to hit. Just 2 hits, and then 4s to take them out. For nothing, just a pin. Bringing them to 2 pins. Next die. Next die is Soviets. And I'm going to have to try and figure this one out. See if I can't make something happen. Alright, activating my KV-2, I advanced, so I pivoted 90 degrees twice, and then advanced over to this position. I'm now going to fire my howitzer into the armored car, and the medium machine gun into the sniper team. So, this will be a 3 to hit with point blank range into the armored car. And that's a 1. Alright. And then same thing with the sniper team. 3s. 3 hits. 4s take them out. Nothing, just a pin. Alright, that was my best shot. With that, it is just the Germans left. I think it's your officer, infantry team, and the armored car back there.
Okay.
So what do you want to start with?
I'm going to run my officers.
Okay, so they're going to run forward, I'm presuming?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, that's where her officer ended up. And then she rallied this armored car back here. And she attempted to advance this infantry team, or squad here, but she failed her morale test, so they went down. And that is the end of round 5. On to round 6. Alright, and the first die of round 6 is Germans. Alright.
Running those officers off the board.
Alright, this officer is going to run off the board for 3 victory points. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. Who's next?
I'm running those guys off.
Anti-tank rifle team runs off the board for another 3 victory points. Germans again.
Let's see if I can.
Gonna attempt to run the other sniper team.
Yes.
Alright, order test. 6, 7, that will pass, and they will run towards the board edge. I don't think they'll quite get off. No, they do. They just get off the board edge for another 3 victory points. Next die. Germans again. Who's next? Half track?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, half track will run off the board for another 3 victory points. Alright, Soviets finally get a die. We'll go ahead and fire the KV-2 into the armored... No. I can't shoot the armored car because then you just roll off the board. We'll advance. Yes, we will advance. Alright, that's where the KV ended up. Trying to block their path. So this will be a 3 to hit on the Panzerfaust, or on the Panzer, which will hit. That'll be, what is that? It's a heavy howitzer. +4 penetration. For a 5, so I just bounce off, dealing D3 pins for 3 pins on the Panzer. And then we'll do medium machine gun shots into the armored car, since it is open topped. I will be able to put a pin on that as well. And then we will go on to the next die. Next die is Germans.
Okay.
Fallschirmjägers.
Yeah, we're gonna just advance.
Advance, alright. Alright, that's where the Fallschirmjägers end up. And they're going to be pouring fire into my Soviets. This will be 5's to hit. 4's to hit with the SMG shots, which are the green dice. Looks like just 3 hits. And then 4's take a man out. For 2. Alright, so I'll take out 2 and another pin, bringing them to 3. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. Who's next?
These guys.
Those guys there. Okay, what are they doing?
We're gonna advance.
Alright, order test. 5, 6, 7, they will pass. Go down to 1 pin and advance and shoot. Alright, and there's the infantry squad firing into my SMGs. This will be 5 or 6's to hit with everything except for the SMGs, which will be hitting on 4's or 5's. So we got 3 hits. Four hits. Yeah. And 4's take man out. For just 1 more and a pin. Bring me to 4 pins. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. It's your armored car and your other 2 over here.
We're just gonna run them.
Alright, just gonna run the armored car. Alright, for the Soviets, I activated my officer who did a run order over here to get in range of my 2 infantry units to give them snap orders. So we'll start with this squad here, which is going to run and do an infantry assault on the Fallschirmjägers. And they are in range, so we'll do some melee combat. Alright, and that's where they ended up. running into them to assault them, try and get some points. Those would be 10 attacks. Needing 5s since they are veterans. My black die is my sergeant with the SMG, who will get to reroll. And then green die for the Fallschirmjägers is their SMG, which they need 4s. This happens at the same time. Rerolling my black die, nothing. So I have 5, and you have 6, 7, 8. All right, and that will annihilate that squad, gaining her another point. And then this infantry squad is going to attempt to fire into that squad. So order test. A 4 will do it, and we'll do some shots. All right, ton of shots going into this squad, hitting on 5s. And that is 4. 4 to take him out. 4, 2. No cover save, so 2 will go down. And another pin, bringing them to 2. And that, no, we got 2 more dice left for the Germans. These armored cars and the tank. So, what do you want to activate first?
This one.
Okay, order test. 6, 7, that'll pass. And what is it doing?
I'm gonna try to run.
Okay. All right, so Panzer ran forward into the field, into my deployment zone, and the armored car ran this direction into my deployment zone. And with that, that is the end of turn 6. And as it stands, it is a total of 21 points for the Germans. For 4 units off the board, 5 units killed, and 2 units in the deployment zone, for a total of 2 victory points for the Soviets for getting 1 kill. And with that, the Germans get a crushing defeat against the Soviets. Thanks for watching, guys.